But it's important to understand why we are chanting and what is the matter in those chants, right? After the chanting, like if you audit your energy system, if you audit your nervous system before you chant and after chanting, you will notice that after you chant, there is a lot of calmness within you, a lot of stillness within you. You have more clarity, which helps you not just in your spiritual journey as a sadhaka, but also in your day-to-day life. It helps you take better decisions. It helps you release stress. It helps you release tension and pressure. It helps you connect better with your fellow human beings, with your family, right? It helps you handle people in a better way.
Content ಇಷ್ಟ ಆದರೆ like, share and subscribe ಮಾಡಿ.
So how does chanting shlokas or mantras help us in day-to-day life?
Sure, yeah. So it depends on the mantras and the shlokas. It depends on the chants, right? Because the chants like the Kanakadhara stotra, they have a very specific intent, right? So something like the Nirvana Shatakam is going to help you feel more connected with the cosmos, feel more blissful, right? Something like the Durga Saptashloki, it is going to help you abundantly be more courageous, right? Because Durga she's royalty.
Women need it.
Right? Absolutely. Everyone does actually. Everyone needs courage, the courage to step out of the things that limit you, right? So one thing is that each of the chants has a very specific intent and a purpose that it helps us with. The other thing is that chanting by itself as an activity, it clears a lot of rubbish inside your mind, right? It clears a lot of noise. So it will take you to a space of more awareness. And it can also facilitate a lot of healing because you're letting go of a lot of things. And the deeper you get into your consciousness, it's a higher life that you're living then. You know, it's a freer life, a more liberated life. Because ultimately one thing we need to remember is our only home, first home is the mind. How healthy is our home? How safe is our home? How happy is our home? Right? It is so important that our mind is healthy. So important that we are happy, that we are able to keep ourselves happy. And I'm not talking about a certain ideal of perfection here. That's not the point at all. It is work. But with some habits that we build, we can get better little by little. And then your equilibrium is going to get higher. That's going to help you in every way. It's going to help you live a better quality of life, freer, happier.
So what is the right age for me to start with this journey?
Whenever you feel called to it.
As early as?
See, I have 5-year-old children that I teach, and they enjoy it. So I think it really depends.
For them, it is chanting and enjoying.
Chanting and enjoying, absolutely. And why, even for us, why should it not be enjoying?
True.
It is enjoying, It's okay for us to really think of it as, okay, today I get to learn something new. I get to feel this. I get to ask questions. I get to learn something new, right? And one more thing that I do in my classes is I teach guided meditation. And the point of this meditation is to really use a lot of visualization to make us feel one with the devatas. For example, I'll tell you this, I'll share this incident when I was teaching guided meditation to one of my classes of children ranging 5 to 7 or 8 years, So we were doing the Shiva module then. So the first day we had the Shiva module, I told them to close their eyes and imagine that you're in Kailash. Okay? And imagine that you're seeing Shiva, he's sitting on the ground and he's meditating. So go sit on his lap and meditate with him. Okay, so they did that for like 1 or 2 minutes. And then after that I asked them, so how was your experience? We were very peaceful. It was very happy. What's your response? And then apparently Shiva feeds them chole bhature because it's their favorite food. And Shiva's favorite food is snow because he lives in Kailash. So it's a lot of, and the thing is, see, for children, right, they connect like that.
True.
Right, I had a very lovely...
Look at the interpretations,
Extreme. It's so interesting because
Shiva loves eyes,
Yes. And so it's just that the children are getting more and more used to the fact that divinity is so accessible to us.
See, that is the point, all of us. For us, spirituality and divinity is to a certain set of people and not for everybody.
Yes. And also, for a long time, all of us have been placing divinity up on a pedestal saying we are not good enough forgetting that they are here to help us.
That's not our cup of tea.
True. They are walking beside us. They are helping us every day with everything. So let's remember that. And the more we remember these things, the more we also remember that we are God. Our essence is God, not the ego, but our essence. That consciousness within, it is divine. So you're not different from that divinity, right? So, with my kids, with my students, when I tell them to imagine that they're holding Shiva's hand and they're walking down a path, focus on how Shiva's hand feels. Try and think of that. Do you feel safe? Do you feel happy? Do you feel protected? Think of Shiva's Trishul next to you. Do you feel safe? How do you feel? It makes them feel good. It makes them feel safe and protected. It makes them feel strong. When we are doing a session on Hanuman, right? And when Hanuman's playing with them, right? No, I actually did this thing where when we had the Mahakumbh happening, and even now during the Magh Mela, right? I did this guided meditation with my kids, and I said, just imagine that you're stepping into the Ganga, and the Ganga is full of light now. It's a river of light. There are many devas and devis and rishis and munis who've come here at this point, and they are also light. And Hanuman is taking you into the Ganga. So all of you are playing together, you're splashing water on each other, and imagine that all the beings of light are coming to you and giving you a nice hug. How does that feel? Right? So, and every time you visualize, you are manifesting. There's a reason you feel that way, because you've manifested it right then and there. So when you're thinking this, the moment you're thinking this, it's happening. See, all of that light is entering your heart. Right? And children feel it like this. Adults also feel it quickly, but sometimes it takes us some time to let go of, the intellect. Okay, how can this happen?
Logical thinking has to be taken off. Yeah. Sometimes they should not be logical is what you realize after all this.
I mean, logic is a tool, but you also need to understand logic is based on experience. So there can also be logic which is based on experiences you have not had so far, right?
So, before we end the conversation, can you just name a few of these shlokas which helps us in the day-to-day life, which makes our life easier?
Sure. Kanakadhara stotra for wealth, Durga Saptashloki for courage, Shiva Panchakshara stotra for calmness, Nirvana Shataka for feeling connected with the entire cosmos, Guru Paduka stotra for getting the blessings of the Guru. Okay, and it's a very long list. You have so many shlokas.
What about for physical health?
For physical health, you can chant the Dhanvantari mantra, right? So that's one thing that you can chant. It's a very long list actually. I mean, I'm not even able to think it because there are so many. There are just so many, and if you want to get the blessings of Ganesha for prosperity, for intelligence, for wealth, all of those things, Ganesha Pancharatna is a great stotra that you can chant.
What if I have to study well, the child has to study well, attain good?
Saraswati stotram is good. Shlokas of Saraswati. Or you can also chant the Sharada Bhujangam, right? So shlokas of Saraswati are pretty good for that. Like you have like a lot of different shlokas of Saraswati.
Success in your career?
Success in career, I would say Kanakadhara for wealth, Ganesha Pancharatna for intelligence, for clarity and all of those things. Saraswati also helps us with strategy. So it's very important to think of her for strategy. And strategy is such an important part of our, of everything that we do at work, right? Because we need to negotiate. We need to think of what's the best plan to move ahead. So thinking of Saraswati. Shlokas of Hanuman, because it's extremely important for us to feel empowered. It's so important for us to feel empowered. In fact, Hanuman Chalisa, of course, it's such a beautiful thing that you can chant every day or listen to every day. And with Hanuman, there's a certain story, and I'm remembering this now because I'm teaching one group of kids the Hanuman module right now. So one story that I like to tell them very often is when the time comes for Hanuman to actually jump across the ocean in search of Sita, initially he believes he can't do it.
Right.
So he's sitting down dejected. What happens is that everybody else who's there, Sugriva, Jambavan, everyone, they come to him and they all motivate him, they encourage him. Hanuman, you can do it. Hanuman, you can do it. And the more and more and more they say that, it's said that Hanuman actually grows in size and then he takes that plunge. It's such an accurate and precise picture of what happens when you encourage yourself, when you believe in yourself. And that for me is one of Hanuman's highest lessons, to believe in oneself.
So to believe in oneself, start chanting Hanuman Chalisa every day, or at least listen to it.
Think of Hanuman. He'll be there. The moment you think of Hanuman, he's right next to you.
To maintain relationships.
Shiva and Shakti, I would say. Because that form of Ardhanarishwara is actually a representation of each of us. For each of us, the right side of our body, of what we are, that is Shiva. And the left
the masculine
half is
power and the feminine.
Correct. The left half is Shakti. So it's so important for us to acknowledge and honor both the masculine and the feminine. So Shiva and Shakti really help you with that. So to understand what is the role of the masculine, see, the thing is, each of us, we have masculine and feminine energies within us. And for us to honor other men and women in our life, we need to know how to honor these two energies within ourselves. Right? So when we are thinking of Shiva, right, what is the divine masculine? It is calm, it is clarity, it is the calm in the storm, right? It is that which is stable, it's a solid rock. It is purpose, it is power. And what is the divine feminine? What is Shakti? She's truth, she's light, she's energy, she's dazzling, she's beauty, she's the one that gives Shakti to everything. She's the one that energizes everything. She's love. She's nourishment, right? So the more we think of them and the union of the divine and masculine within ourselves, that is going to help us be more mindful and also appreciate and honor the relationships outside, right? And self-love is extremely important. One more thing, since you were asking about shlokas for different purposes, for self-love, we do need to connect with Devi Mahalakshmi.
Yeah.
Because the highest wealth is self-love, right? The highest wealth is being able to feel happy, loving yourself, honoring yourself, which is going to create more harmony, more well-being, more quietness in your mind, right? Which is going to help you receive from the universe, which is going to help you relax and feel more safe. And that is the basis for everything else. Kanakadhara helps with that also. Yeah.
So what for protection? You're going out.
Durga Saptashloki. And you have different, you actually have a lot of different shlokas and stotras for different devatas who can help you, even if it is for one particular purpose. For example, Narasimha helps you with protection, But when you chant of Narasimha, absolute protection. Absolute protection. One of his names is Sadashiva, by the way. So Narasimha is that, he's like the father that protects everyone, right? So yeah, you are Prahlada when you're with him. So yeah.
What a beautiful conversation. We never thought, a day-to-day activity, It is a routine for us, in Indian families. We wake up, we complete all our day or morning routine, sit in the puja room, gives time for your own self, chant a few shlokas or mantras which you are aware of and walk out to your work or something. But if that is done mindfully,
yes,
these are the benefits that you attain.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times spirituality is mistaken, stating that, it is not for the materialistic wealth, it is something to connect with the divine. But nowadays, of late, I am able to find people who tell us, here also you are prospering, here also you are abundant, and there also you are abundant. So it is both the ways helping you. So please start doing it.
And it's not mutually exclusive. It is okay for you to pursue wealth even as you're pursuing greater spiritual truth for yourself.
So sometimes it is mistaken, if you are behind materialistic comforts, you're not spiritually growing is what is the notion that I usually see. But now we find a connection for both. So you can be aspiring for both, hand in hand.
I think, balance is very important. Like are you grounded? Are you anchored in yourself? There is absolutely nothing wrong with pursuing wealth if you're anchored with yourself, right? Because how is that? It's an assumption. We fear that it will take us away from the path. If you fear that, it will happen. Yeah. But there's no reason.
Even for fear, you have chants and you start chanting those when you have fear of getting away from the path. So that was that beautiful conversation early in the morning with Vidya. Thank you so much for enlightening and throwing light on a lot of aspects, in a very simple way. and hope we get back to you for guided meditation and chants.
Most welcome.
To get connected to Vidhya, to learn chants, or have online classes with her, you will have all the details in the description box, so you can always call her. This was a beautiful conversation with Vidhya at Info@Honody. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.